Well, can there be pitfalls of renting? Well, anything there's pitfalls, isn't there, in everything we do, but we are going to acknowledge them today thanks to Sharon from Quinovic. Hi Sharon, Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you very much. It's gone so quickly though, hasn't it?
It has this year, it's busy, busy, busy.
It is. Hey, today we don't like to talk about the negatives, but it's good to acknowledge things basically and just sort of take away the glaze or the fog. As far as time versus cost, not enough Kiwis are actually valuing their time, are they?
That's right. What we find is when the market's good and the market's strong, you know, over the last couple of years, people have been able to go and do one open home, they sign up a great tenant. So long as the tenant's great, it all ticks along as it should do. But New Zealanders as a whole, we don't put a value on our time, and especially professionals who should be out doing their own job and then just letting the professionals do their job. You know, for the amount of money that a professional pays us over a 12-month period, now that they're having to do 5, 6, 7 open homes to get a tenant, they really need to look at, is it worth my time or do I just pay a professional?
Just a curiosity question, what's the best way for you to actually advertise for your properties, do you find?
Oh look, most people still come through us through Trade Me. It's getting the international market that are starting to come into town now. We do a lot of emails and a lot of communication with the major companies in town, the hospital, that sort of thing. We get quite a number of tenants through there. But it's word of mouth and keeping tenants. If they have to move out of one property because it's been sold, then quite often they'll stay with us and we'll find them another one.
Well, talking of tenants and being landlords and being property managers, relationship is key, surely.
Absolutely, and we do have to remember that the relationship between the tenant and the property manager is just as important as the landlord and the property manager. So what we find when private owners try to manage their own house, they become very friendly with their tenants, so they let that rent arrears slip for a couple of days, and the process just becomes a lot longer. They also fall for sob stories. We've heard them all before. We've heard them a million times.
Give me a good sob story. Give me a good sob story. I like
this. You know, I can't pay the rent this week because my grandmother's died.
Oh,
you know.
Karma.
And that's fine.
Oh, if she's passed,
but, you know, we hear that 2 or 3 times over a lease, and it's just, you know, and, you know, there are some legitimate hard stories out there, but it's trying to just read between the lines. You know, we all know life happens, we all know rent doesn't get paid sometimes, but it's that communication and being able to keep on top of it. You don't just let it slide because you've become too friendly with your tenant. And
you know what, Sharon, that's actually a good life lesson. In any matter of communication, things do happen, exactly, and you acknowledge that. But as long as you talk to people,
exactly,
and make them aware. Maintenance on a rental property. I mean, some people may never own their own home, and their rental property is their home, and you would hope there'd be maintenance made on it.
One of the other things we find with private landlords is that they don't regularly do their inspections. Sometimes that's just because their own life's got too busy and they're out doing that, but other times, again, they've become friendly with the tenant, they don't feel that it's necessary, and so if they're not doing those inspections and documenting it properly, A, you've got higher expenses at the end of it because the maintenance hasn't been done and more damage occurs, but also if there is a claim that you need to put through your insurance company, if you don't have documented quarterly inspections, some policies still say 6 months, but if they're not documented and you make a claim, it can be automatically turned down.
So I'm assuming that every one of your properties has a file and that is updated regularly.
Absolutely. Yep, and our systems all tell us 3 months has gone by, you need to go and do that inspection. And that gets done, it gets photographed, it gets documented, recorded, sent to the owner, sent to the tenant. So if there ever is an insurance claim, it's easy for us to provide all that information.
Okay, I'm throwing in something just for the end because we are around the Christmas period. A few of your tenants will be going away on holiday. What happens if that property is broken into while they're away? Who covers the insurance? Is that, and there's damage to the property, is that the tenant or is that the owner?
It's the owner. Many things with damage to properties, whether the tenants are around at the moment or whether they're away. There was a case in tribunal recently, the Osaka case. It's put a lot of pressure on the industry because pretty much most damage these days caused by a tenant, unless you can prove that it was intentional, will need to be covered by the landlord's insurance.
Wow, that's a really good food for thought, isn't it, to leave on there, to protect. And that is why you have a property manager who can manage all of that and keep you on track and have the reminders, because you're right, we do get busy, life is busy, so that's why we need the assistance of company. All the best to you and the team. Are you getting some break over Christmas at all?
I will be on call 24 hours a day.
Crikey!
Because we need to be, but the property managers will be taking a good couple of weeks off and being refreshed for the new year.
Good on you. All the very best. So
Thank
lovely
you.
seeing you again. Here is the details for Quinovic Merivale, and get in touch. You may be looking for a new property in the new year, and they can certainly assist you in that as well. Or you could be listing. There are 48 Papanui Road in Merivale. Phone 03 355 0348, or go to the website. That's quinovic-merivale.co.nz, or there is the email address for Sharon. I wanna stay in the